Let's come back to the river waste, and what does, for example, the company EVERWAVE do in Albania or Cambodia, from which I took these videos. These are just 2 case studies of their company. So they are confronted to very different plastic wastes. The yellow bin, as we use in Europe, you have only packaging waste inside. Do not forget. But what you see on the riverside or on the beach, packaging waste, clothes and footwear, other household waste, construction waste, car and ship parts, fishing industry, meaning nets, ropes, buckets, or tourism waste such as beach equipment or toys. So what do? They go into the mangroves, they go to the riversides, and they collect as they can. Look here at the river surface, they have these booms that just collect the floating waste. And then they transport it towards the van, and the van will transport it to the sorting center. And here we are. This is hand picking in the sorting center. And this is hard hand picking, I can tell you, because you have all the contaminations, they're still there. So, hard job. And this is where we want to get to. So, as we heard yesterday in Daniela's presentation, this is the classical ASTM, American standard, how you classify the plastics, PET, PE, PVC, etc. But, as I said before, as you have seen in photos before, the materials that you cannot recycle with a normal economic effort. It is not possible. Let's be true about it. This is not possible. So we speak about this not recyclable material later on. But the parts that are sorted out, we can recycling. We can do recycling. EVERWAVE says recycling means the recyclable fraction is reintegrated in the material cycle. Another example from my partner Pierre Kamslum in Cameroon. So you've seen already this photo. They are collecting waste on the riverside or inside the river. So they have their own collection facilities, their own trucks, and they bring it to their courtyard and they do the drying, because don't forget, depends on the moment where you collect it and when you want to use it. Often it's still wet or humid, and here, for example, for the films, they have to expose it to the sun to dry it. Then they start to sort, and sort means here they remove labels, rings, caps, etc. This is when it's cut, because they want to be sure that it can be mixed up later on with the sand. So this is the cut material, and you see this is really PET bottles that are completely pure without any contamination. So they do mixing by hand. They add manually the sand, and a photo that is missing shows that it's heated up, and they put it into a form. And here we are, we have a brick. They did a brick with sand and with plastic out of plastic waste. Good thing, bad thing, this is not for me to judge. It is a use of the plastic waste. YICAPED says, we propose solutions how to recycle and make new products. Because the situation that I've seen in Cameroon is not nice. You have seen the first photos in the beginning. So another example from EVERWAVE is the cement industry. You've seen the photos where they recycled, for example, the PET bottles that re-become PET bottles afterwards. Here they speak openly about the things that they do to prepare the plastics to become co-products inside a cement plant. So what do? They sort out what is PVC, metals, glass, etc. I think Aitan has described what a cement plant needs, so they know what they cannot leave inside. PVC, as an example, is not possible that you leave inside. The chlorine would be, during the burning process, would do damage to the burner. So this is not the way to do it, and you have to find a minimum of calorific value, and this is 18 megajoule per kilogram that they have to be used in the cement industry. And afterwards, and therefore they remove also the stones and the glass and the metals. They have to grind it to make a homogeneous flakes out of it. EVERWAVE says the non-recyclable fraction is co-processed, e.g. In a cement plant, together with our local partner. Fossil fuel is economized. Last but not least, an example that I love, that I have not seen yet because I have not been to India, is plastic roads out of plastic waste. So how does it work? You have another time you have people that collect manually all the plastic waste to bring it to a sorting station, a picking station, and people take out specific plastics, toxic plastics, hazardous plastics. Then they are cut, they are grinded into a homogeneous mixture of flakes. They are mixed up with the gravels. They call it agglomerates, but it's the gravels and a fairly low temperature, only 170 degrees, and this permits that not toxic gases go out of the plastics. And here you see a second example how it's mixed up. And these are the gravels without the coating. And here, after putting the plastic way into it, you see it has become dark or black, meaning that they are now coated, the gravels. These gravels, they're mixed up with bitumen, and then they are laid out in the street. So what is the benefit of such an action? In a normal road, we have about 10 tons of bitumen per 1 kilometer. In a plastic road, we have 9 tons and about 1 ton of plastic waste that is used. Yeah, once again, an interesting use of plastic waste. I would like to take your questions now, please. Go ahead.
I just wondered that you talked about the closed system for washing the plastics, but after that the water is dirty with the material with washable. So how did you clean that water to use it again?
So they're different in wastewater treatment. There are different steps. For easy contamination, such as sand, some labels, you just need to see if you just filter it by a screen, and it works. First step, a vibratory screen, and then you have the chemical wastewater treatment, where you have bubbles that take out the contamination, and this needs extra chemical use, extra chemical polymers that you add into the water to get rid out of. This is a floating tank where you do it. So this floating principle is state of the art, but what is important to know, and therefore I wanted to show you the very simple images. The more dirt you have, the more you need to invest into chemicals, temperature, travel time inside such a wash line. So it becomes more and more difficult. So what I did not say, but I have to conclude, the longer you leave plastic outside in nature, the bigger is the risk that you have additional contaminations. So therefore, please, and this is what you know already, please put all your plastic waste into the bin in a collection system, because the time that's outside, you just add problems, you add contamination, the number of impurities will grow. So my message is very simple: let's reduce the number of impurities when we want to recycle. But as you said before in your own presentation, let's avoid, where it's not necessary, please avoid to use plastic waste such as plastic bags. Go ahead, Thomas.
Yeah, one question though, how you know it's clean enough? So
let's be very stupid. If you can sell it, it's clean enough. No, we are in a business. This is not a welfare organization. You can sell this kind of wash lines to partners all over the world, the big partners that you know in different countries. You mentioned some of them. So they make money out of it. So at the end of the day, they need pure granules to be sold. If the granules, for example, the partners who wish to have transparent granules, this is possible, but only with transparent input material. I've shown you transparent films. So at the end, this will be a very fine material. It's like glass recycling. You know, glass recycling, the colors, everything, if you mix it up, it becomes all brown. But if you want to have transparent bottles, you have to use only transparent bottles for the recycling of glass. It's the same, in a simplified way, it's a similar approach in the plastic recycling industry. The better the input material is, the better is what you can do out of it. Go ahead.
It was a very interesting presentation. Not just a question, it was just like a comment that when we are mixing plastic in the cement and then creating a brick out of it, so is there any study or any test done on the durability of that road? Is there any?
I will send you, yeah. There are studies, and it does not go to the cement industry. They do it in their own artisanal workplace, so in a workshop, and it exists in many countries. I would say also in India, but I know from Kenya and from Cameroon, that's for sure. But there are several places where they do plastic bricks out of, I think I've also heard that it's done. Yeah, so what I want to say, yes, today, this very simple reuse is part of the state of the art. It is what we call a low technology solution, because you don't need big machinery to do so. A lot of things that we've seen were manual collection, manual picking, manual washing, manual drying. They don't use a lot of machinery, and this is why I stick to my partner, because they do a great work. And but they do it in many countries. Yes, I can send you information.